Dawn-Piercing Darkness, Episode 2. Let's have a quick recap. 4 boys from seemingly good family backgrounds head towards the hill to end their lives. One of them is Nick, who belongs to an affluent family and was living an extravagant life when he comes to know that his mother was cheating on his father, and he's not the biological son of his father. He then decides to end his life. They are led to a salt mine to enjoy a more painful death. Now Episode 2. The narrow opening is guarded by a heavy metal door and chained with a lock. A warning sign showing a skull and 2 crossbones daunts them. All 3 of them were pacified that they have come to the right place. So how we will get through this? Nick asks, holding the rusty lock. Jacob calls the ranger guard and he obediently appears as if he's waiting for them. He then unlocks the door and a deep gust of salty odor strikes them. Shall we? Jacob gestures them for to go inside the tunnel. They all enter, stooping their heads because the ceiling is too low. They penetrate deeper and deeper when suddenly Craig cries in pain. What happened? Jacob turned around. Oh, I guess a salt icicle pierced my arm. And look, it's bleeding. Look who is so eager to end his life. Jacob thinks humorously. Craig Waltz, a genius into mayhem, an all-rounder throughout his school and high school, has everything going so smoothly for him. He has perfect parents and a warm house. Last year, he won the nationwide Science Genius Hunt Award, and the mayor awarded him with a grand prize of $5,000. His parents always say, our Craig was born to win and rule. Well, with all his brains, he had little friends, because again he was considered a bookworm. But of course, you cannot have everything, or can you? Truly, after finishing graduation in mathematics and engineering, he landed a dream job in the country's leading engineering firm. The bosses loved him because he had quality ideas and was a valuable addition to the firm. His colleagues, however, didn't admire him much for obvious reasons, but also because he wasn't socially active and would rather prefer to be on his own. His personality was really deep to penetrate. People around him said. Days went by and Craig's popularity amongst his seniors rose. He was then granted a promotion just a year after his joining. He was now an executive at the firm. Late-night parties, alcohol, and women became a part of his life on regular basis. He was now one of the most powerful. He looked down upon his subordinates. A tinge of hotness has lined his attitude. However, he defended that it was the immense work pressure. Then the day came when he graduated to the chief executive officer position, and he was in the sky. One day he was engrossed in work in his lavishly furnished room when a young man named Henry McGuire came and begged to see him. He had brought a proposal for the company's ongoing housing project but had no work experience or funding to go on. Craig mercilessly rejected him without even giving a second look at him. The lad pleaded, but he was thrown out by the security guards. The days went by and the nights lingered with parties. It was one of his success party nights when he was offered ecstasy, which he obligingly tried. Soon he was a regular consumer of marijuana, which upscaled his level of excitement. Then one night he met a beautiful woman. She was like no one he had met earlier. Beauty and brains, when combined together, they form a killer combo. Antalya was all that. Craig thought he had found his perfect match, and they both started to date. Months went by, and he further drowned himself in booze and dope, and of course Antalya. However, strangely his work practices were not affected at all. He was still the best, but things are not always smooth. Soon he started getting late-night hangovers and was often late for work. It was one of those days when Antalya appeared in his office and he was all groggy and tired. But when he saw her face, he lit up. Honey, I have a proposal for you. Can you please have a look at it? It's your proposal. I know it must be great, replied Craig, knowing Antalia's architectural abilities. Where do you want me to sign? Antalya placed some papers in front of him. You know you should read before you sign, she said wearily. But he gave her a confident smile. A week later, a police constable comes and has an arrest warrant for Craig. He's furious because he's always had a clean record. The police exploded the bomb that he had committed a forgery of $10 million from the firm. Craig's head starts spinning. It must be a mistake. But the officials took him away. Craig is unable to understand what actually happened. But his parents came to his rescue and spent the last penny to repay the company. Because of his past record and services, the company refrained from pressing further charges. He was given a chance to collect his things from his ex-office. When Craig entered the CEO's office, he was stunned to see the same young lad, Henry Maguire, whom he had early belittled, sitting on his chair. So, Mr. Waltz, how should I treat you? He asked calmly. Craig is stupefied. You see, you shouldn't treat your juniors like that. You never know how one may turn out, he says with a sneer. Yes, it was I who overturned your fortune. Antalya is my girlfriend, and I set her up with you just to take my revenge. How foolish you fell for her, and even more foolishly signed the financial form of $10 million without even reading it. I'll inform the police, Craig said weakly. No use, they have your signatures, and well, you have a weird kind of reputation with people around you. No one wants to take your side, so good riddance, Henry said mercilessly. Had you looked at my proposal earlier, we both would have flourished together. You see, because of that proposal, I was awarded your seat and position. Craig left dejectedly. It's not easy to glide from riches to rags. When he looked at his parents, they had guilt and remorse in their eyes for him. He just wanted to hide away from everybody, from this world. What better notion is there than ending his life? I'll kill myself. Soon they go deeper and deeper until they reach a dead end. The place where they are standing looks like a small cave where they can barely stand. That's it, Jacob said. You all stay here. You see, there's no way out because the whole salt mine is like a maze. One can go in but cannot come out. You can all die peacefully here without anybody looking and disturbing you. I'll join you people in a second. Jacob leaves them. What a sweet smell of death, cries Brendan in delight. You mean salty and savory, joked Nick. Craig heaves a sigh of relief and closes his eyes. Suddenly it seems that two hands are trying to strangle Craig. He feels dizzy and a flash of light blinds him and he passes out.